Welcome to Sideline, Season 2, Episode 4. I am your host, Tyree Simon, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Tawana Vassell.
Oh my God.
Listen, before the end of the season, I'm going to get it right.
It's been 2 seasons. It's been 2 seasons now. Vassell.
I got the first
Vaseline.
name. You know what? For some reason, I always mess up the S or the A.
No, you said Vasil.
Instincts.
That's not how you say Vaseline. You don't say Vaseline.
Tawana,
no, that don't sound right.
Tawana,
exactly.
I promise you, by the end of the season, I'm gonna get it right. How you doing, Tawana?
If you don't, you owe me $5. But
Bet.
All right, say that. How I'm doing? I'm good. I'm doing better than last week. We had to cancel the show. I woke up. I had no voice, kind of. Right. So I'm doing better this week. How you doing today, Miss Lisa? We got Lisa.
I am good. How you doing today?
We good, chilling.
I'm hanging in there. It's been a rough 2 days. I wasn't able to get the Avengers tickets today, so that kind of sucks. So
Avengers, they're out?
Yeah, for the end game.
Yeah.
What is it?
It came out 8:00 today. I went on
for the pre-tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wasn't able to get it. And
I mean,
I've been trying all day, and I've been able to get AMC to work. So thank you, AMC.
You'll get it eventually.
Hopefully.
So today we'll be talking about a little bit of sports, and not much been going on in entertainment since we lost Nipsey this weekend. It's been a sad weekend for rap and hip hop this weekend.
So we're gonna start off with a little bit of sports first, and then we'll go to Nipsey after. All right. So how you feeling about this March Madness? Have you been paying attention?
Nope. I haven't, but
straightforward answer.
I see the scores and stuff like that, like where all of these tight close games have been going on. Like I see all the notifications on my phone, but I told myself I wanted to watch March Madness this year. I didn't have the time to, because I've been working crazy hours. I
feel you. I've watched a couple of games here and there, but again, I'm working at the same time, so I've been paying attention to most of it. I have watched the storylines within the season about Zion and RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish is not really.
I'm just shocked that they
really
lost.
Performing, huh?
I'm just shocked that Duke lost.
I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked at all.
Why?
Because I felt that, I guess, especially going deep into March Madness, I didn't really have them winning. I felt like it was between Zion and RJ Barrett, and after that, who else was going to pick up the slack? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they've been doing it all year, so why not?
I just felt, I personally felt, especially after Zion being hurt, I was like, I don't
when
see it going.
When his shoe blew out?
Yeah.
I don't even consider that as a hurt. I felt like they just did that.
Well, didn't he have a Didn't he
wasn't like.
Didn't he hurt his knee?
It was slight. He stretched it.
Yeah.
And they didn't make him play. I don't think it was like that detrimental. Like he could have probably came back out and stretched, walked it off. But do you see him going into the draft this year?
Zion?
Mm-hmm.
I see Zion going into the draft, possibly going number 1 overall. I think one of the things that I've seen this March Madness is a couple of other draft prospects that you could probably see out of this. What was the Morant? I forgot his first name, but Morant. He's somebody that people are looking at now. RJ Barrett is another one. I don't see Cam Reddish going in the draft. He possibly could.
Why not? Why not?
He really didn't impress me in this draft to make me think he's gonna be a high pick draft. I personally believe in if you're not really ready and you're not really gonna be a top 5 draft pick, you probably
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant, yeah, thank you. If you're not gonna be a top 5 draft pick, you probably should wait another year till you get your top 5. Just so your name gets a little bit more profile, your contract gets a little bit more of a bump in pay. So honestly, I think he should stay back a little bit more. And he really didn't show out in the March Madness. I think it was more of the Zion and RJ Barrett squad or story. The narrative was more towards them than really him.
On another note, though, what do you think about LeBron sitting out the rest of the season, but advised by doctors?
I think it's good.
Coach.
I think it's good. I don't think you need LeBron James to play any more games. You're already not going to be in the playoffs. I would, if I'm the Lakers, which I think they're going to do, to continue doing. I think they're going to keep losing games to try to get a higher draft pick. I think that makes sense. I think you're too late in the game now to try to want to go for a playoffs. You're already out of it.
Yeah. I think that's a good move.
And
but
he's like 36, right?
Who?
LeBron.
I don't know. I'm keeping track of
All right, he's in his 30s, so
he's
yeah.
old.
Exactly.
His hairline shows it. He old. He old.
Exactly.
But,
don't let him play.
For me, I feel like him sitting. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. Him sitting, him playing doesn't really matter to me. But
Yeah.
I feel like the end of the season, the Lakers got a lot to work on. A lot. Like, a lot of picking up to do. Because this year, they did basura. Like, absolute garbage. Like, I don't know. And I don't care what nobody says. I'm still be watching them every game next season. But
Sorry, he's 34. LeBron James is 34. Yeah.
and he look near 40.
He looked, yeah.
I ain't even gonna hold you. He
Yeah.
look near 40. But yeah.
I just don't see the reason to have LeBron James play.
And they beat the Pacers. It's just so weird to me that they lose to these teams and then lose to all of these teams earlier in the season and then they're beating them now. Like, what? Where was all of this energy back then? Well, I digress because a lot of people weren't playing. Like, McGee wasn't playing they
Right.
lost 10 games in a row.
Right.
And it didn't occur to Luke Walton, ring, 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 put McGee in the game. Let's play a center against these big men. But whatever. I hope they re-sign him for another
I
2
hope they
years or something like that.
I hope they start losing games. Like, I don't understand the mentality of wanting to win
We
games.
are not going to be friends if you keep saying the Lakers should lose.
They should lose.
How about
Why?
you lose?
Why you're not in the playoffs? You're nowhere
How
near the
about you
playoffs.
lose?
Let's get a draft
How
pick.
about you lose?
Listen, if the Lakers were to get somebody from the draft pick like a Morant, like a RJ Barrett, I'm for it. I don't need you to win games.
No,
There's no
I
need for it
understand.
now. You should have won in the beginning.
That's really true. That's really true. But as for the rest of the NBA, they doing what they supposed to do, I guess. And whoever's in the Nets, you seen how they've been doing?
The Nets are doing pretty good.
Thanks to deloading.
Yeah.
Deloading's doing a pretty good job over
I
there in the Nets.
I think I messaged you. I don't know if I messaged you or not, but I think I messaged you. I think the Nets are a great destination for free agency. Like, if you're a Kevin Durant, if you're a Kyrie Irving, why not go to the Nets? Why not go to an established place that are already in playoff contention?
Mm-hmm.
That just need a couple of more pieces, and then they'll be a certified team.
Yeah.
It's way better than the Knicks organization right now.
The Knicks is terrible. I can't believe they even beat the Celtics the other night.
Yeah.
They beat the Celtics. I was astonished because the Knicks are terrible.
So if I'm a free agent, I'm looking at the Nets. I'm looking at the Nets. I'm looking at what they established. I'm looking at what they have, the foundation that they have. I could build off that.
I'm interested to see what's gonna happen this free agency with the Lakers, especially what Kyrie's gonna do.
Yeah.
Because people have high hopes that he's gonna go to the Knicks, and I highly doubt he would. Like, the Knicks would be my last resort to go to. He would have literally zero help.
Twana, you know what I think? I don't think, and I could be wrong here, at the end, but
You are.
I don't think anybody is going to go to the Lakers. I don't think no big time free agents going to go to the Lakers. I don't see it. I don't. But what they have, I don't see it.
No. I'm gonna remember this. You said this already. I'm gonna remember this.
We're talking about a KD. We're talking about a Kawhi Leonard. We're talking about a Kyrie Irving. I don't. Anthony Davis. I don't see them going to the Lakers. I think the Lakers end up with nobody. Nobody of significance. They may get some role players.
What's your favorite team again?
The Lakers. I know how it sounds. My optimism is very low. My optimistic is very low.
People. You're one of those people.
Listen,
you don't be riding till the wheels fall off. I see.
I'm riding till the wheels.
You throwing us under the bus like this?
I am riding.
It's no way you could not be one of us.
I'm riding. It's just I just don't see it. With
You
all
ain't
that happened, I just don't see
You ain't
it.
a Laker fan then. Go pick another team.
Man, listen.
Go
just
cheer
tank.
for like the Patriots.
Just keep tanking. Just tank to get the draft pick. Please, I'm begging you.
I thought
please.
you supposed to be over here rooting for us.
Please, I'm begging.
Hoping that we get better players.
Listen, if you want to get a better player, look in the draft. Look for that.
So,
man.
Yeah. So we spoke about all of the sports. So let's talk about.
But just before we close off on this, are you gonna watch the rest of March Madness?
Oh, I was thinking about watching this weekend. Ain't it about to be the Final Four or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah.
Baseball's back on, so I'm sorry.
I'm gonna try to get into
I'm sorry.
into that.
Baseball?
I try.
I'll help you.
I
out.
understand it. I understand it, but I just never. I don't know when it starts. Like I know when the NBA and the NFL season starts,
Right.
but I don't know when NBA. I said NBA.
MLB.
MLB
Yeah.
starts. So I'll try to watch that. And
Listen.
I feel like I might watch a little more NFL because I want to see what
See,
OBJ is gonna do.
if
over
we
in
could also
Chicago.
get you into boxing and MMA, then
Them things come on pay-per-view.
Listen,
You hear that? Pay-per-view.
I'll hook you.
Pay-per-viewing.
I'll hook you up. Just let me.
I know you're a real one. I know you're a real one. You're a real one out here, son. You a real one. You a real one.
All right. We could talk about it now.
Yeah, I know we can talk about Nipsey, but speaking of Nipsey, and you mentioned Kevin Durant earlier, I just found out this morning that Kevin Durant lost a best friend. His name was Dixon. I forgot. Cliff Dixon.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Last week, I believe.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't know that. His best friend died. So I seen Dave East posting about it because they had a candlelight visual for him up there in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I seen Dave East talking about it. He had his own little speech right there in the middle, right? Him talking in front of everybody, and I seen him posting about that guy that died too, and I'm like, that's so crazy. Like, how you lose two friends in less than a month? That's crazy to me. Like, it's ridiculous how we killing each other, and then we complain about the cops killing us, but we killing each other more. Like, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah. If listeners, you didn't know, West Coast, I would call him a West Coast icon at this point.
Of course.
A West Coast rapper, Nipsey Hussle, was murdered outside of a clothing store that he owned. You know, this past Sunday, he died at the age of 33. You know, not only was he a rapper, he was an entrepreneur, he was a family man, a community activist, a visionary. You know, he talked about owning his own businesses. He talked about giving back to his community, which he did. He was a leader. You know, in fact, on Monday he was planning to meet with LIPD to talk about gang violence, and what they could do to stop it. You know, and it's just sad. It's sad. I found out through TMZ.
Where were you when you found out?
I was at work, and I saw the TMZ report saying that Nipsey was shot. And you know, I looked at it. I was like, nah, this can't be real. And then I looked at it again, and I thought, you know what? It's gonna be all right. You know what? He's one of those people that you just think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be all right. You know, it's unfortunate, but he's gonna make it through this. And then about maybe 30 minutes, an hour later, you know, same TMZ report saying that, you know, Nipsey Hussle died at age 33.
I was at work also, and my manager, he came. Me and one of my other coworkers was talking about work related stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
He comes up and he puts his arm on his shoulder. He's like, yo, you listen to Nipsey Hussle? And he was like, yeah, a little bit. He was like, yo, they just shot and killed him. And we was like, what? Like, that's how he came and told us. So we was like, what?
Fam, I
was like, nah, you lying. I'm like, you lying. So I pulled out my phone, and it was just like all Shade Room and all Complex all down my timeline. And I'm like, that's crazy, son. Like, I'll be sick if I was Lauren London. Like, I can't imagine
or his kids, or his kids. Like,
I can't imagine. And
or that community.
I feel like some of the young ones, they might not understand that much, but they might just know Daddy won't be coming back.
Right.
But Lauren, girl, my heart goes out to her. I ain't even gonna hold you, because if that was my man, they would have probably had to check me in over the G building over there in Kings County, because I would have been going nuts. I don't know. I feel like death is like the worst thing you could wish on. Like, I wouldn't say wish on somebody. Like,
it is,
especially if it's sudden. It's not like they was sick. They was like something going on with them internally. Like, somebody intentionally took your loved one's life away from them. Like, and apparently it was a friend, somebody he actually knew. Well,
it wasn't a friend per se. That they're saying that you know, the person, the suspect they have that they're looking for is Eric Holder. Eric Holder. He was a gang member, part of the same gang that Nipsey was a part of, apparently. And Eric Holder allegedly was an informant, and that really wasn't looked at kind of well in the community. And Nipsey, he went to Nipsey's store, and Nipsey told him to leave, and he came back and shot Nipsey 5 times in the chest and 1 time in the head.
Yeah, I saw the security footage.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. Like, that was pure premeditation and anger. Like,
And it was
he
planned.
shot other. Yeah, he shot.
It was
other
planned. He
people.
got into an escape car and ran.
Yeah, he shot, and two
Ran
other
off.
people got shot, but they don't have life-threatening wounds. And he left. Apparently, he left, and the woman was the getaway. A woman is a suspected getaway driver.
Yeah.
But now I've been seeing on social media that supposedly, well, the guy himself posted on his Instagram account saying that he's guilty and something about Illuminati, and people is trying to wrongfully indict him on stuff that he didn't do, and why would he do that.
Did you see the I think I told you about a video about this is how crazy the world is today. Like, this guy was saying that he killed Nipsey on IG Live.
Oh yeah, you was telling me about that, but I didn't actually look into it.
He was talking about that, like, maybe 20 minutes after he died, saying that, you know, I killed Nipsey and I hate him. Fam, I sometimes I can't stand this. I can't stand the world today.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can't stand it, you know. And people, you know, I don't know if it's grief or if it's an agenda behind it, but people were saying that Nipsey died because he's doing a documentary on this doctor that had a natural remedy towards curing AIDS and HIV. And, you know, they were saying that, this is a government conspiracy, and that he was a setup. It's not gang violence. It's not black on black crime. It's the government looking into this and trying to kill our people. Like, they killed Left Eye. The Left Eye died in a car crash.
Right.
So
I hate that. Like, it's like every time when somebody dies, I feel like in some instances, black people never want to admit to the fact that we're actually killing each other.
They don't.
They look for all of these outlandish theories to come up with before they actually really believe that they really do this is stuff that happens every day. It's just on a larger scale now because he's a celebrity, but stuff like this happens every single day in our community. They kill each other over the stupidest things, the most minuscule things that don't even matter, and they just go to jail. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to jail. Everybody, I feel like black men who want to be gang members and be in the streets just have this whole childish mentality. The system is not for us, they're against us type of mentality. And then they pick up these guns, these drugs, and then they do all of these senseless things and kill each other. Like, for what?
Exactly.
And then they complain about being labeled, but this is the image that you're portraying to other people. This is what you're doing to yourself. Instead of uniting and being one, we're killing each other over colors, blue and red. I'm not with you because you're red. I'm not with you because you're blue. Like, you make no sense to me. Like, I don't understand.
But even more than that, jealousy. Like, this guy hated Nipsey for what he was doing in the community. He hated Nipsey for what he was portraying himself to be, which he was a leader and somebody that gave back to his community and did all the things he stood for. It's sad. It's sad. And here's the thing: what hurts about this, right? Mm-hmm. The thing with Nipsey is what he stood for and the person that he is. I never would think in my life I would see Nipsey dead at age 33 because somebody shot him.
I didn't really listen to his music, but I know he's a gang member, and a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, it's your lifestyle that you used to live always come back to haunt you," which is true. I don't know the lifestyle he lived before. Right. I know he is was a gangbanger, but you change your lifestyle. You know, at the end of the day, it's like you can never change how you are because it'll always come back to haunt you no matter what you do. As long as you was in the streets, somebody's gonna find a way and sit there and try to cook up something and get you back for the littlest thing that you probably did, and you over here trying to do this, grow and maneuver into somebody completely different and build and make a family and you know, start over and fix your life. But it's like people hold so much grudges and anger and hatred, and I think that is so nasty. Like that's nasty how people do stuff like that. And I don't know how I feel. Like I don't know him personally. Right. I feel like none of us.
I don't know Nipsey Hussle,
but nobody deserves to die. Like I ain't even gonna hold you though. His braids always be on fleek. That's one thing I know. Not even a flyaway. He got his cornrows be laid. I want to know who used to comb his hair.
Makes me laugh on it.
His cornrows be laid. Like
the thing I still I'm confused by is, we talk for listeners to understand. Nipsey Hussle was that guy. He was really, really important, not just as a rapper, not just for what he did to his community, but for black people. Mm-hmm. What he represented, what he stood for. Being your own person, building your own businesses, being your own man, striving to get where you want to be. Like, you gotta think about it for a second. He started out, just doing mixtapes, and he was doing mixtapes and trying to get on, and he was with a label that fell through. Then he decided to be independent and had his own, record label. Mm-hmm. From there, he goes from coming from nothing, making mixtapes, to then going to be a Grammy-nominated rapper for Rap Album of the Year. He goes to, creating. He's gonna make a museum, for African American arts. He was gonna, the next day, like I said, talk to the LAPD about gang violence and what he could do to stop it. He was going to, make a documentary about, this guy that had natural remedies towards HIV and AIDS. He was doing all these powerful things. He employed people in his community through the business that he had, not just one, but many of them. He helped feed families in the community. The donations that he did, he was not just a rapper. He was an important person to the black community. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's sad that another black man, because of jealousy or anger or hate,
well, whatever his motive was, because I still want to know the full story whenever they find him or arrest him, if he's the right person that really did this. I want to know the full story. I want to know the exact conversation that happened. I want to hear that confession tape. Like, why? Like, nobody want to shoot the fair one no more. Like, I feel like that's the weakest form of escape you could do, is shoot somebody. Like, shoot the fair one. If you wanted to fight, you could have just fought it out and go about your day. Like, why you gotta kill them? Like, what do you get out of that?
Right.
Only thing you're gonna get is 25 to life behind bars. And why? It's still not worth killing them. It's not worth it, because it's basically his life for your life. Right. You lost your life just the same way because you took his life. Like, that makes minimal sense to me.
And it's not just that. Again, this guy fed families. He helped people get jobs in the community. He helped people get through school and stuff like. Is it like? It
wasn't worth it. It was. Weird.
You know what I mean? It's bigger than that. It's bigger than just gang violence. You know what I'm talking about? It hurts.
He's out here putting out the same energy as Jay-Z, doing all of these new entrepreneur business and stuff like that. Helping the people around you.
Right.
Like, he could have been like on the next top scale billionaire like that. Like, and we will never know, because his legacy got stopped by somebody that was around him. Like, he chilling in the comfort of his own home. Like, these people go out, they normally have security and stuff like that, but he chilling in his own neighborhood, in his own store. Like, he's not gonna be chilling there thinking, oh, somebody gonna come up and do something like this to me. Like that was just weak to me. I feel like that's the purest form of weakness to me.
I want to also say this, right? For people that are saying, oh, if you didn't love him before he died, don't love him now.
Love is love.
I hate that. I hate that. Love. Just because you don't know the person personally, just so you can follow his whole career, doesn't mean you can't feel sad.
And show condolences. Death is death, period. It don't matter if you knew them or you don't know them. You meet a stranger today and they told me, oh, your mother died, but you're still going to say, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, right? It doesn't matter. Like, death is death.
Right.
That person is not coming back. You're not seeing them again.
Right.
The only thing they're going to leave you with is memories. And memories don't live like people do.
I started listening. You really wasn't listening to his music, right?
Nah.
I started listening to Nipsey in 2015. My cousin just put me on to his album. At the time, it was called I think it was Mailbox Money. I could be wrong on that. I believe it was Mailbox Money. Uh-huh. And ever since I heard one of his songs, I think it was Count Up the Loot, I was just mesmerized by it. Uh-huh. And I followed his career. And to see him go from making mixtapes, to being a Grammy-nominated rapper, arguably could have gone to Grammy. To helping his community, to being a powerful leader, to doing what he did, to being a family man, to what he represented, to trying to get people to inspire and to be something bigger than yourself.
And to put it out there, I just seen on my timeline, I don't know, what's his Shade Room post that they put out a petition to rename Crenshaw and Slauson Avenue to Nipsey Hussle Boulevard. They have a petition. They need 7,500 signatures. So
definitely, if you wanna really,
it's at change.org.
Make a change. Please do that. Anything you want to add before we end the show, Tawana?
Nah, I'm good. I just feel like that black on black crime gotta stop. That's nonsense. Shoot the fair one, man. Shoot the fair one.
Here's all I want to say, right? I hear people saying that, this is why you can't stay in your own home. This is why you can't be in your own hood or whatever. I don't believe in that. I don't think that's what Nipsey stood for. Nipsey stood for, going back to your home, building, helping build your community, helping create opportunities for people, help uplift people in your community, and doing these wonderful things. So for people that's saying, this is why you need to leave your own home, I don't think that's honoring Nipsey. I think by, continue to live by his example, I think that's how you honor Nipsey. He was a guy that, if you wanted to, reach out to him and ask for advice, he'll give it to you. People, have all these stories about how he helped them and how he helped, find their passion, and he helped create businesses that help them, figure out what they want to do. There's so many great stories if you want to hear about Nipsey. It's definitely out there. I just think that this is sad. It's sad. And condolences to Laura London and to
Lauren
London. Sorry, yes. Laura London and his children in the community of LA. It's very sad. I do want to end with this. Nipsey always talked about and promoted being independent, working hard for goals and what you want to achieve. If you want to honor him and what he stood for, make a difference in your community. Go out and inspire, be creators and innovators. Help people in your community. Reach your goals and be dedicated to what you want to do. You don't have to just say, this is it, and that's all I want to be. You can be somebody. And he definitely did do that. So, rest in peace to Nipsey. And
rest in peace, Nip.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say there. I do want to say thank you, Tawana, for coming on the show today.
Alright.
Yeah, I definitely am sad. This is gonna be a really, tough thing to get by, and definitely, rest in peace of Nipsey. That's all I can say.
Like, you can look a gift horse in the face and not know what you're looking at. And I feel like, I'm looking at the gift horse. I'm just one of the ones that notice what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? It's actually an incredible time. It's like a gold rush. There's never been a time like this in our generation. It's our equivalent of the gold rush, and everybody moved to California. This technology has empowered everybody. It's giving people, it's as big as you want to make it, and it's as far as you want to take it. And we could quote a gang of things going on in the world right now, or just accept it as being true. But it's like, man, giants gonna crumble, big companies gonna crumble, new companies gonna pop up out of nowhere, and it's gonna be dramatic right now, and I believe it.
That's how I know. 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 That's how I knew that I was different. That's how I know. 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 That's how I knew that I was different.